Okay, so good evening, everyone. I think it is now the fourth time that we meet here on Facebook to present you some scholarship options Germany offers. And we had a first session end of last year about the DART scholarship program. We had a second session about Alexander von Humboldt scholarships for postdocs. We had then another session about DART HEC joint scholarship program. And today we are having a session on the scholarship options of the German political foundations present in Pakistan. Maybe I tell a few words about the concept of the political foundation at first, because you might not have heard about that before. So currently we have 6 political foundations in Germany that receive funding by the German government, and each of them is associated to a political party that has been elected to the German parliament, the Bundestag. The political foundations, they work to promote civic education, democratic education in Germany and abroad. And they also provide policy analysis in Germany and abroad as well. So another task, which is very important and which we are talking about today, is the support of young academic talents, also both in Germany and abroad. And from an international perspective, the German political foundations are quite unique. They were established, most of them were established after the war, also with the hope to somehow stabilize the democratic values in Germany and in German population. And in Pakistan, we have 2 of the political foundations present here, which is the Friedrich Naumann Foundation, which is in Islamabad since 1986 and which is headed by Birgit Lamm. So welcome, Birgit. Thanks for joining us today. And the second political foundation which is present in Pakistan is the Hans Seidel Foundation, which is present in Pakistan since 1983. And which is headed by Steffen Kudella. Welcome, Steffen. Thanks for joining us today. So I think we could start this session with a presentation of the Friedrich Naumann Foundation. So Birgit, maybe I can hand over to you, and maybe you can highlight the most important aspects that might be interesting for our viewers about the scholarship program the Friedrich Naumann Foundation offers.
Thank you so much, Christina. And I would also like to welcome everybody who's watching us now or maybe would like to watch our program a bit later. The political foundations here in Pakistan, as well as in Germany, we would like to enable citizens to become responsible citizens, to have a say in politics. And particularly for Friedrich Naumann Foundation, we are promoting a society where people can be the pilots of their life and realize their project of life. And of course, an academic career and education is a very important part of being able to realize your project of life. And this is why scholarships, investment in minds and in ideas is a crucial part for us. And I believe this is also true for Hans Seidel Foundation, because ideas and people, they are intrinsically connected, and we are looking for people who have ideas, who want to make a difference in society. And this is also why we are looking for people with academic excellence, but also people with a vision that goes beyond a specific academic career. And this is also why our system might be a bit different from a scholarship program which exclusively focuses on academic excellence or maybe on sponsoring specific academic careers. So may I ask you to please share my presentation? Because although we are all digital right now, sometimes the digital technology still has glitches, and somehow I wasn't able to share the presentation from my end here. So if you want to study in Germany and you would like to apply for a scholarship with Friedrich Naumann Foundation, there are certain requirements that you need to have. As I've already said, we are not focused on a specific career, and we are looking for broad-minded people who would like to make a difference in life. Ayaz, would you like to click to the next one? So the scholarships that we offer are either undergraduate studies or up to PhD level. And the important thing is, before you actually apply for a scholarship with us, you already need to have your place at university. So it's not like you apply to us and Friedrich Naumann Foundation is looking for you to find a place at a university in Germany. You already need to have been enrolled in your specific program. Either it's a bachelor, a master's program, or up to a PhD level. Next one, Ayaz. So if you have a scholarship with us in the undergraduate up to master levels, you would roughly get a stipend of 861 euros per month. It would cover a health insurance. Before you start your studies, we would cover the cost of a German language course. And later on, you get an alumni sponsorship. If you are on the PhD level, the stipend is a bit higher. But apart from that, the package in general is nearly the same. Just one add-on, since the main objective of a PhD is, of course, a research project, then FNF would also support you in publishing your PhD project as your final thesis publication. Next one. So what is it that you actually need if you want to qualify for a scholarship with us? Of course, you need to have the necessary academic credentials. And then this is one point that we already saw on our social media when we advertised for this scheme here. You need to have sufficient knowledge of German to be able to participate. And within the European framework, that's a minimum of B2. Friedrich Naumann Foundation is not restricted to any specific career, so it can be from fine arts to law or biotechnology. And with us, there's also no age limit. So whoever wants to do a BA, a master's, or a PhD course in Germany can apply with us. There are, however, some restrictions. So you need to be already registered with a German university, but you still need to have at least 2 more semesters until you complete your degree. And then, as I've said, we are also looking for people who have leadership qualities. So we are looking for people who are not only interested in a career, but have also shown social commitment. And we would like to look for people who are also close to the philosophy of our foundation, which means we strongly focus on the ideas of individual freedom and responsibility. So we would like to see or invite people to pitch for a scholarship with us who have already shown their commitment to social affairs by maybe being active in a citizens initiative or in a student community. And of course, the values that you represent should be in line with our values, which means we promote a free and open society. Next one, please. So I've already mentioned the 3 criteria that would be also the basis of the selection. That's, of course, your academic performance. So academic talent is a crucial part, of course. And then your personality. We're looking for people who also look beyond their academic careers, their motivation, reliability, but also their values are important for us, and social commitment, as I've already mentioned. Next one. Now, the very important thing is how and when can you apply? In Germany, we don't have academic years, but we do have semesters. So we also have application procedures going on, starting with every semester. And for the next winter term, the application would be now in April, from the 1st to the 30th of April for the winter term, and then for the next summer term from the 1st to the 31st of October. And as already mentioned, the selection criteria would be academic performance, your personality, and social commitment. And the selection process would be in 2 phases. First of all, you would need to submit your documentation online. And then there's a first screening of all the applications, the paper from your documents, and then the selection committee will draft a shortlist. And the best candidates will be invited for personal interviews. Now in Corona times, of course, the interviews can also be done digitally. And then the selection committee will evaluate and assess every candidate in these 3 criteria already mentioned here. And then if you're selected, then you'll be invited to be part of our scholarship community for long, as it takes you to finish your degree. And that's not all. You do not only receive the money that we've already talked about, but the important thing for us is also that you get involved with other scholarship holders, that you're part of a network, and that beyond your academic career, you're also supported in your personal development. And the next slides show you how. Ayaz, would you click on? And next one, please. So when you are part of our scholarship team, there will be an introductory event. Every year, the scholarship holders organize themselves a summer academy. They have working groups and initiatives that work on topics of their very own interest, a domestic summer academy, and they also have activities with our alumni. And there's also a mechanism that, for example, the alumni will help current scholarship holders with their job perspectives, for example. So it's very important. Once you're part of this network, hopefully you're going to stay part of this network. And the scholarship holders and also the team of our scholarship program, as well as our offices in Germany and the lecturers which support FNF at the various universities in Germany. They help you to develop your personal careers, your perspectives, and become hopefully a good expert and a leader in your field. Next one, please. So this is just one idea to show you what the different activities and study circles are. And there's a large variety that our scholarship holders are interested in. It ranges from culture to innovation or education. They have their own yearbook or their own magazine where they discuss socio-political activities. So there's a huge variety of things that you can get involved in. Next one, please. So if you really are interested in learning more about it, and maybe since from the 1st of April onwards you can apply for the next winter semester, this would be the address where you can find further information. And also on the English website, you will find all the documents which are necessary for you to fill in to get involved in this application process. Yeah, or if you want to, if this is too complicated for us, this is where you can find all the forms, Or if you don't want to contact our colleagues in Germany directly, you can also contact us here at Friedrich Naumann Foundation in Pakistan. And on the next slide, then you find our contact details as well. So that's it from our part. And I would really love to see loads of Pakistani students, committed scholars who for the next semester apply with Friedrich Naumann Foundation. So,
thank you very much, Birgit. Thanks a lot for your presentation. I have checked the comments section while you were talking, and I have noticed that you have almost all the questions have already been answered. Maybe I can just take one question just to remind the viewers of what you just said. So there was the question of an age limit. So there is no age limit for the scholarship program. Then there was the question about the application deadline. I can once again mention that it's for this next semester in autumn, it's the 30th of April. So everyone who is still interested, you have more than 1 month left to gather your application documents and to send it out. And there was also one question, what about sports science? Would that also be covered by your scholarship program, Birgit?
Yes, of course, you can study sports. And we even had someone who studied forestry. Or if you study dancing or pianos, and we had a violinist as well, or someone studying composing music. So there's no limit to academic careers. The only prerequisite is that the course that you would like to study needs to be a registered and accredited course at a public or a publicly acknowledged German university.
Okay, great. Thank you for that additional information. And maybe I would also like to emphasize again that yes, German language for this program is really necessary. So B2 level German language knowledge needs to be proved, and it's also necessary to have an admission from a German university already while applying. So maybe now we can move on to Stefan, and he can maybe add some points, because some aspects are quite similar for both political foundations. But nevertheless, Stefan, if you would like to share with us your presentation about the Hans Seidel Foundation Scholarship Program, because I guess there are also some differences between the two of them. So we will be very interested to hear your presentation, Stefan. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here. And indeed, some of the points I will highlight are actually a repetition of what Birgit just said. And that's simply because the legal requirements for both of our foundations are literally the same. Yeah, I mean, there are small differences, yes, but overall, both kinds of scholarships are very similar to each other. Nevertheless, I think it might be actually good. Repetition is not a bad thing, and especially to memorize and understand. And sometimes the best questions come up once you repeat something. Okay, let me just quickly share my presentation. Okay, I think now I should be visible. Yeah, let me maybe begin with quickly introducing what HSF Pakistan is, and then I discuss with you what kind of scholarships we offer. So HSF Pakistan is the oldest German political foundation working in Pakistan. We are active since 1983 in Pakistan. And we are one of the oldest partners of the Parliament of Pakistan, and both houses, the National Assembly and the Senate. And we are also working with over 40 Pakistani universities currently as a partner, which I think makes us quite well connected to academia in Pakistan. And our academic support is a key element in all of our focus areas. So we finance roundtables, conferences, research, and publications. And we also have scholarship programs, which we'll discuss today. And basically, we offer three kinds of scholarship programs. It's scholarships related to research in Pakistan. That's a very targeted and specific scholarship. And then general scholarships to study in Germany for non-residents of Germany. And as all other foundations also do, we also offer general scholarships for people who are residents of Germany. Okay, our first kind of scholarship is research related, as I said, and that is being awarded through our partner universities. So HSF defines every 3 years its focus areas, namely good governance, regional dialogue, and non-traditional security challenges. And if we work with a university which supports us in one of these focus areas, then we can also finance scholarships for this university. But in this case, the university announces the scholarships, and we participate in the selection of the awardees, but at the end, most of it is in the hands of our partners of the Pakistani universities. So you might have seen announcements on, let's say, non-traditional security challenges research, for instance, at Quaid-e-Azam University in Islamabad, and that is financed by us, and it's implemented by our partner, Quaid-e-Azam University, and we have, like that, awarded over 20 scholarships in the last year, and we are planning to award more this year. Also, as part of that, after we have supported students with scholarships, we offer them conferences, or we finance a conference in which the students can present their research results to an academic public. And so we finance the honoraria for researchers, for the presenters, the moderators, and also we help with editing and publishing the research results. And we even offer technical support to our partner universities, even though that's not our main mandate, that's more the field of GIZ, technical support. But in some cases, we also support the universities in terms of computers, internet, or other structural needs. This was scholarship number 1. Now, if you want to study in Germany and you are not a resident of Germany, then you need to be exceptional in your academic performance, and you need to also have a study project which is 5 to 24 months of length, and then we can award you, or we can nominate you. The country office in Pakistan can nominate you for the scholarships, and either you will be financed by our head office in Munich or by us as a country office from Pakistan. And it's clearly defined how much we can actually pay you once you are part of our scholarship program. So if you go to Germany to study there and you are a graduate student, which means you need to have a completed bachelor's degree, then you will receive 850 euros per month. That is around 155,000 Pakistani rupees a month. If you are a doctoral candidate, and or if you already hold a doctoral degree, you will receive much more. You will receive 1,200 euros a month. That is 220,000 rupees, more or less. And you can do the math yourself. Now, if we pay this for up to 24 months, that means in the best case, you would be allowed to receive around 5 million PKR for your studies in Germany. And also, in addition, we offer travel expenses. So we cover travel expenses. There are family allowances if you stay longer than 6 months, and even subsidies on printing costs if you request them. And in addition to this financial support, we also offer this conceptual support, or the, how do you say, like ideal or ideological support. We offer you membership in one of our university groups in Germany, and that will give you a networking opportunity in Germany. You will be having networking opportunities in Pakistan. And of course, we will support you with your visa and admission process. We will not be able to cover your visa fees. That is impossible by law. but we can help you in terms of support letters, etc., to get the visa. Now, what are the requirements to receive such a scholarship? You need to have an excellent university degree and experience in research. We do have an age limit. You need to be younger than 32 years. So that's a big difference between our foundation and Friedrich Naumann Foundation. We also expect you to have socio-political commitment, but that doesn't need to be of liberal character, as in the case of Friedrich Naumann Foundation. And we do expect you to have a proven good knowledge of the German language. That is also level B2 for all master degrees. Now, that is mostly the requirement of all German universities anyway. So we just highlight this here for your own clarification. But in fact, if you want to enroll in any German at any German university, you usually need to have a level B2 in German. And that is, first of all, the academic life in Germany is in German. And secondly, also the administrative processes and the laws, that's all in German. So you don't need to be fluent in that, but if you don't know any German, it's going to be very, very difficult to study there and to be successful. And that's why we request you to have the level B2 for master degree. Now, individual exceptions are technically possible if the country office issues them, but they are extremely rare. So the overall rule is that level B2 must be reached by all applicants. And of course, you also need to be already accepted by a German university. Just exactly the same as Friedrich Naumann Foundation. And then in terms of documents, I think they're very similar. You need to submit letters of recommendation, expert opinions. You need to be able to describe your research project for the next 2 years. And of course, you need to be accepted by the German university. And now, last but not least, let me quickly also touch the topic of studying in Germany if you are a resident of Germany. Now, I understand for most of our audience today, this does not apply. However, it's just good to know that you can receive a German scholarship in Germany without being a German national. Right? So it's not dependent on your nationality. You can be a Pakistani national, but if you are a resident of Germany, and that's complicated what exactly qualifies you to be a resident. But for instance, if your parents moved there and you are living with your parents there, or there are several other cases where you don't need to be actually a German citizen or a European Union citizen, and you're nevertheless entitled to receive the fellowship, the scholarship program. For information on that, I recommend you to visit our website, the HSS DE Stipendium Förderung. So this scholarship is targeted towards German universities and German-speaking universities. So that also it only applies to German universities right now. They have changed the rules. But also here, you need to be above average in your study performance. You need to be engaged, like in the socio-political life. You need to show civic responsibility. And in this case, that's interesting for you to know, in case you receive a German scholarship, so if you're a resident of Germany, then the income of your parents is actually considered, which means the amount of the scholarship you receive depends on how much money your parents earn. So I received 2 scholarships when I was a student, one for my bachelor and master degree and one for my PhD. And I did not receive that much money because of the income of my father. Now, it depends very much on your family background, this kind of scholarship. The scholarship I mentioned before, the scholarship for non-residents, there the amounts are fixed and you will receive this no questions asked. So it doesn't matter whether you are from a wealthy or a less wealthy family. Yeah, thank you very much. That's it from my side, and I'm sure you have questions, so feel free to ask them.
Thank you very much, Stefan, for this very detailed presentation. I think there are almost no questions left, but I have seen, nevertheless, a few in the comment section. So maybe one commentary at first, because I think there was some issue with the slides. if you agree, we could show them afterwards, or we could share them afterwards, the presentation, because the slides were not moving in the beginning. So we could then also share them afterwards. Maybe one question which is also quite often mentioned about the visa issue, and I guess that question would be addressed to me, because of course the embassy has a lot of applications for visa from students. But I would like to highlight that in this session, as well as I already did in the previous sessions, for scholarship holders who receive a scholarship of a German organization. We have a kind of fast track visa application process. So all scholarship holders who receive scholarships from German organizations will receive an application for applying for a visa within roughly 2 weeks. So this is the good news, that visa issuance won't take a long time. Then maybe one question also to you, Steffen. What about the deadline for the application? Is there a fixed deadline, or can you apply all the year round?
Yeah, that I can answer quickly. There's no deadline. You can apply anytime.
Very good. So another difference between the two.
But there's no deadline.
Okay. So now we have the Friedrich Naumann Foundation, which has no age limit, but a deadline, an application deadline, which is the 30th of April. And we have the Hans Seidel Foundation, which has an age limit, but no application deadline. Applications can be sent in all around the year. Then maybe there was also one question about German language, German language certificates. I would maybe just like to mention that, for example, if there is somebody interested in learning German for reaching the B2 level, which is of course already a quite high level. There are different offers, for example, by German cultural institutes like the Goethe Institute in Karachi and also the Annemarie Schimmel House in Lahore, who offer German language courses and who also offer online courses. So for all of those ones who are interested but who might not be located in Karachi or Lahore, the online courses might be an option for you. We will also share the links of Annemarie Schimmel House and of Goethe Institute of their websites in the comment section, so that you can click on it and find out more about German language options.
I would like to add one, if I may, Christine, that there are also online courses of the German Goethe Institute from Germany, right? So you don't need to necessarily go through the Pakistani office, even though you can. But you can also go to the website, and one of my colleagues right now is taking a class there, like an online class organized by Germans in Germany for everyone in the world.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's a good offer. So you can check out the links we've just posted in the comment section. So now I would like to ask to another guest who would be with us today, and this is Nadia. And Nadia is a former scholarship holder of the Friedrich Naumann Foundation, and Nadia is currently based at the University in Gießen. And she was a Friedrich Naumann Foundation a scholarship holder from 2006 to 2008. And since then, after that she did her PhD in Germany as well, and she's now still working with Gießen University for English language and literature, if I remember correctly. So Nadia, I would like to thank you very much for joining us from Germany today to be part of our session. And I would like to ask you, could you maybe share your insights about the scholarship you received from Friedrich Naumann Foundation, about the experiences you gained from your research stay in Germany, and how the scholarship helped you to further your career.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Christina and Brigitte, for making me part of this session. I'm really delighted and honored to be here today and to share my experiences with the Naumann Foundation with you. So today I would first like to give you some tips, like what do you need as the first step to apply for a PhD scholarship? So the first thing is you must have a topic. Now, I don't mean that, you should have the very final topic, but it's very important to have something to start off. I mean, in my case, my topic was political novels. So it was a very broad topic. And first I had a broad topic. Before I narrowed it down, what I did was I looked for different professors in Germany. So I looked at the Department of English, and then I saw the professors, and I looked at their research profiles. This is absolutely fundamental because, look, unlike the case in Pakistan where the professor takes you by hand and, there's a lot of rote learning there. So the teacher, the professor plays a very vital role in helping you with your research. But at the PhD level, the professor expects that you are independent, that you take self-responsibility. So before you contact a professor, it's very important that you make sure that you know your research area and that you're ready to contribute to the professor's research realm as well. I know it sounds strange because you will wonder that, no, the professor is supposed to tell me or to teach me, but no, in that case, it's important that you show that you have a topic which can contribute to the research. So this is what I did. I contacted different professors, and then I discovered at the University of Frankfurt, we have a professor, Professor Frank Schulze-Engler, who was specialized in literature about South Asia, literature about New Zealand, Africa. So he was very much interested there's somebody who could do some research about the political novels of South Asian origin. So he immediately accepted me. All I did was handed in my topic, and I just wrote a 2-page long synopsis, which I later, of course, developed for Naumann Foundation because they want you to elaborate that. So this was the first step. And after that, he asked me to narrow down the topic. So he asked me to work on transcultural memory in the text. And finally, when I finished my PhD, my book came out. So as you see, it's finally called Transcultural Memory and Globalized Modernity in Contemporary Indo-English Novel. So you see, I started with a very broad topic, and then I ended up publishing with Goethe. And this was, again, Naumann Foundation helped me with the publication. So a very important thing that you do your homework and that you check the websites and check what the professor's research profile is and what you could contribute to his research profile. This is the most important thing. Next important thing about the application process is that when you apply for the Naumann Foundation, they do ask you about your social commitments. So you should have done something. It's a give and take thing. You can't just take. You also have to show what you could give back. So I was working as a journalist, and this is how I got in touch with Naumann Foundation, and we arranged workshops about transcultural, intercultural communications, and we developed networks. And in that context, we did something very interesting, and Naumann Foundation offered the financial support. I, together with my colleague from the Naumann Foundation, Zafarullah Khan, we published a pamphlet which was against hate speech. So what we did, we looked at the social studies books from grade 1 till grade 7. We studied them, and then we pointed out where there was hate speech and what we could do against it. And that was the project that was useful in taking the hate speech out. So the text board in Pakistan really agreed to us, and he agreed to take the hate speech out. So I also mentioned that in my application that I take some social responsibility, that I have done something for the foundation in my limited manner. So in order to make your application successful, of course, it's important that you have been accepted by a professor, but it's also important that you have done something for the foundation, that you can prove that you can take responsibility. Then few things about my research experiences. I must say I had an amazing experience doing my PhD. I mean, I come from a middle class background. I was raised by a single mother, so it was impossible for me ever to afford my PhD. So I went abroad, and then I could take part in language courses which were offered by the Goethe University for free. So I learned German, and during my PhD, in fact, I developed my language skills. So I started with B1, and then during my PhD, I reached to B2, C1. And it was a very enriching experience taking part in research colloquiums, network with PhD students. So I actually learned to research in Germany. Of course, when I did my master's and my MPhil in Pakistan, I learned in some ways research methods, but again, a lot of focus was on rote learning. But in Germany, you are very independent, and it is expected of you that you do research in an independent manner. And that really enhanced my thinking and my writing, and of course, later on my career. So I was very fortunate that in 2009, so my scholarship ended end of 2008, and in February 2009, I submitted my PhD. And then a permanent position, which are very few in Germany, showed up. And I applied, and I got a permanent lectureship in the Department of English at the University of Gießen, where I'm still based. And, you know, I take part in many other scholarship programs. I traveled a lot. I gave lectures in different universities in Germany, in Europe and in Germany. So it was a great experience. And now I'm doing my postdoc. And, you know, so the road goes on. And it was with the Naumann Foundation that I could really start off my career. So I definitely encourage you to have a good topic, to do your research, and you will have a great career like I have. Like, I'm really, really happy. And each time even when I applied for my job, the first thing they saw was, oh, she is a scholarship holder. So you see, scholarship is, it not only helps you with your finance, but it also helps you later on with your life, and it paves a path for, you know, a better job. So thanks to Naumann Foundation that I got a permanent job. So I wish you all the best, and I hope that you will apply. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nadia. I think that was a brilliant presentation of all the different points that might be interesting for our viewers. I don't even have any more questions to you. Maybe just one question. What would be, as you are in Germany now for a long time, so what would be the thing you miss most about Pakistan?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, I miss the weather. I must say, I love being in Germany. I think it's my second home. I love the language, the culture. But you know, one thing I haven't been adjusted to, and that's the weather. And then yesterday I saw Bill Gates sitting in the garden. I was so envious, listening to the twittering of sparrows. So yeah, this one I do miss a lot.
Okay, so we will send you some maybe 10 degrees from our 30 degrees here in Islamabad to Germany,
Yes.
and we can share it somehow. Thank you very much, Nadia, for being with us, for sharing your experience, and for giving very relevant points to our followers and very relevant recommendations to apply. Thank you very much, and also all the best for you for your further career.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So now I think we could again have a look at the questions section here in our comments. So I think there is another question which was asked a few moments ago about the requirement to come back to Pakistan. Is there any written requirement in your scholarship terms and conditions that that you have to come back to Pakistan after the scholarship?
I can answer this from the perspective of HSF, of course. No, it's not like as in a contract. However, I discussed the situation yesterday with my colleague in Munich. Germany does offer this to Pakistani students so that Pakistan benefits from it. And the biggest benefit, of course, is if people then return with their knowledge and their network and their skills if they return to their country. So it is something which we would strongly encourage, I mean, or which should be intended, right? At least in the case of HSF. So we do this because we want to support the development of Pakistan. And if we can't support the development if there's a brain drain, as you say. However, I mean, legally, I don't think that you are committed to return to Pakistan, legally speaking. And also many people who once start, let's say they start doing their master in Germany, they often stay longer and they add a PhD or a postdoc or something else. I mean, that of course you can always do.
In our case, there is no precondition in that respect. We are not like the Fulbright scholarship where you actually sign in the end a contract that after you complete your study, you have to go back to your country for at least 5 years. This is not the case with Friedrich Naumann Foundation. We are looking for individuals who want to make a difference in life. And wherever they find the space where they can make a difference, that's fine for us. And you see in the case of Nadia, she stayed at the University of Gießen and she's now a very popular lecturer there with a normal German contract. So that's fine. And I think also, I mean, she's a well-known scholar there and people gave her the job. So she was obviously the right person for it. And she now helps German students to become established academics. And I think also for our country, it's good to have different views and have an international outreach as well. So I do understand, of course, the approach that Seibel Foundation has. And we also, with our work here, of course, want to make a difference for Pakistan. But for individuals, I mean, life can take you wherever you are. So we are not restricted to that.
Good. Thank you very much. There are some more questions about different subjects that were studied. Maybe I can repeat again. There is no criteria of any special subject that would be only eligible for a scholarship. So in principle, all subjects are fine. And you could apply for a scholarship for every subject that might range from, as Birgit said, from sports science to economics, law, or architecture, arts, whatsoever. So for this kind of question, I think we have been clear here on that part. Then maybe
Can I add something as well to this? Yeah. So. It might even, if you study something exotic, that might even be a competitive advantage, because by law we are not allowed to only. We need to have a broad spectrum of recipients, right? And if you don't do anything mainstream, that might be actually, so you might have less competitors, so to say. So I myself received several scholarships, and I did philosophy. And a lot of my classmates were very jealous because they were enrolled in law or economics, and they were like, how did you manage to get all these scholarships? And I said, well, no one applied who does philosophy, and they need to get one philosopher at least. So that was me. And so at the end, it's highly recommended to apply, especially if you do something which is not mainstream.
Okay, thank you very much, Stefan, for that clarification. I think that's a very important hint. And I would also maybe like to ask you one question regarding the potential quotas, because there was also a question. Are there any quotas regarding countries or any other kind of quotas that might be interesting to know for our viewers?
Well, for Friedrich Naumann Foundation, sorry, there's no quota. So we are interested in having excellent academics and people who are interested in social development. So whether you are from Africa, South Asia, or from Europe, that doesn't really make a difference. You as a person, you need to convince the selection committee. That's the important part.
And from our side, I said before, we have two ways to finance this. One is through the head office, and one is through our office here in Pakistan. And because of this, technically there is a quota in our own system, but it is irrelevant to the Pakistani applicants, because once we can't finance it through one source, we can use another source to finance the same thing under the very same conditions. So the correct answer would be, yeah, technically there are quotas with countries, but practically speaking, it doesn't really matter. And in the case of HSF, we have not had any recipient of a scholarship for many years now. So if there is something like a quota, that would be to your advantage, because we haven't had any Pakistani scholarship holder for many years. So that would definitely give you, again, a competitive edge.
Okay, so that might be an incentive for the viewers here who are watching and who might be pondering to apply. So thank you, Stefan, for that information. Birgit, what about the Friedrich Naumann Foundation? Maybe you could share some facts and figures. How many people have you in your scholarship alumni network?
Well, we do have hundreds, of course, our scholarship, or thousands even, because our scholarship program was started in the 1970s. So it's already very old. But when it comes to Pakistan, we also have rather low numbers. So all in all, we do have 4 alumni from Pakistan. Nadia, whom you've just seen, is one of them. But we have got 1 active scholarship holder right now, and he studies political science at the University of Bochum. But of course, I would love to have at least 2 or 3 or maybe 5 or 6 more Pakistanis who would actually apply for it and go for Germany. I think it's a great opportunity, and there's not only the UK or the US to complete your studies and have a good quality degree.
Thank you, Birgit. I think that's really important to highlight. And I would once again mention that for Friedrich Naumann Foundation, the deadline to apply is the 30th of April. So still 1 month to go. So everyone who is interested, please apply. And for Hans Seidel Foundation, there is even no deadline. So whoever is interested, please visit the websites which we have also shared in the comment section. Look at the information which is available there. You will also find the contact information about the Friedrich Naumann Foundation office here in Pakistan and the Hans Seidel Foundation office in Pakistan, so you could also get in contact with them directly. And yeah, well, I would say I would ask you, maybe Stefan and Birgit, is there anything that we have missed to mention, to point out to our viewers? Because I think most of the comments now are repeating, and most of them have already been answered. So everyone who has maybe joined us at a later stage, I would recommend you to maybe watch the whole session again. We will show it on the embassy's YouTube channel, and we will also, of course, you will also have it available on our Facebook website. But maybe last words from your side. Have we forgotten anything, or would you like to mention anything that might be important from your point of view? Birgit, maybe to start with you.
Well, I think I can only encourage you to check out our website and give it a try. We are interested in committed young people who want to make a difference in life. Good university qualifications, but you don't need to be among the top 1% of your class. You need to be a good student with a vision of and the idea to make a difference in life. And then I think it might also be a good lockdown project to start learning German. And with the new digital possibilities, that might be a very good idea. And then I would love to help you in, getting maybe the selection process done, helping you to fill in the forms and hopefully be part of our alumni network later on.
Thank you. Stefan, what about you? What are your last words for this session?
Well, I think such a scholarship is an excellent opportunity. I myself, I've studied abroad myself. I studied in Italy once and in America twice, being a German student through scholarships, and I've benefited enormously from that. And so I think also studying in Germany has the advantage our study fees are very low in Germany, generally speaking, and the scholarships, the ones we presented today, Birgit and I, are comparatively high. So you can, and they are not dependent on the income of your parents. So you get this money, and it's absolutely enough to cover all your expenses. Yeah. So I think this is absolutely a unique opportunity. But of course, you need to know some German for that. You don't need to be excellent in German, but you at least you can start learning German now with the Goethe Institute. It's very easy. I have talked to my colleague in Northern Africa who was heading the office in Tunisia, and he told me that he knows people who are able to reach this level of German B2 within a year if they really focus and study hard. So, I mean, think about it. You would invest maybe 1 year of your study time, you learn another language, and then you get the chance to actually receive such a great scholarship and be fully paid and getting a university degree from Germany. So I think I absolutely would recommend everyone who is interested in that, in an international profile, to pursue that. Oh, and I'm sorry that my presentation didn't. I don't know what's the issue with this internet connection today, but you will find all the information that I presented also on our website, HSF Pakistan website. And my colleague has also shared the respective link to our scholarship information in the comment section of the Facebook.
Yes, thank you. And we will also, we have also now being shared again here in the comment section. So you will find all the most important links here, which we mentioned in our session. I really like the idea which Birgit just mentioned. Take the lockdown as a chance to learn German. I think that's a really good idea. There are many opportunities. Check out the Goethe Institute's website, the Annemarie Schimmelhaus website. There are German language courses offered on all levels online, so you can join from wherever you are, be it in Pakistan or abroad. So please take the opportunity, learn German, and then you might have a chance to apply. And I guess it will be a very good opportunity for your further career. And of course, we will be very happy to have more, I would say, research ambassadors for our Pakistani-German relations. So thank you very much, Birgit and Stefan, for joining us today for this session. I think it was highly informative for our viewers. And I would also like to thank you, our dear followers, for watching us, for tuning in. This was the last session for the time being on scholarship programs of German organizations. If you are interested to watch them again, please click on our YouTube channel, Germany in Pak, and you will find all the previous sessions on German scholarships on that channel. So if you want to check the one or the other information again, just go there and watch it again. Thanks again to all of you, and I'm wishing you a wonderful evening. Thank you.